Hi, I'm Rachel.
I'm Ryan.
And today I have kind of a small outline I have put together for things that I would like to talk about. There's been some really good lessons that we've learned over the last couple of days, me specifically. I don't know. I think Ron's taken in some things too, but just to start, I'd like to discuss our dreams and how I feel like the Lord can communicate with us through our dreams and give us warnings and just show us the way, so to speak. And I'd like to talk about a few events that have gone on for us over the last couple of days that have been a little emotional. They've been very guided by the Lord as well, and I took in some very powerful lessons about health and how to go about things even more naturally than we've been going about. And I'd like to discuss towards the end of the video about how we sometimes feel darkness. We can feel it from others around us or in our environment, and how to use the love that you have from the Lord to avoid that darkness but still be able to function normally even though you might be around it. And that's where I'd like to take the discussion today.
Sounds good.
I would like to start with the dreams and the messages from God, the Most High, however you like to say it or feel it. Dreams come to us sometimes, and a lot of us throughout my life, I've heard people want meaning from dreams. There's books about dreams. You can look up things online about dreams. It's crazy, but I've always had a very deep feeling that they're messages, and it's our own consciousness guiding us in the right direction and giving us things that we need to work on or focus on. I have told my children for many years, "Oh, I had a dream." Just take it to mind. Just remember, Mom had a dream about something, and be aware of these things around you. Recently, my son, my oldest son, had a dream, and it referred to something with his young son. And then that turned into, he made an absolutely beautiful song. And we can share that or copy that link in the description, because I think everyone should hear his message. But he took it to heart. And I think it may have been a small warning, because our grandson got a little sick and had a fever. And that it was just a little scary for me. I mean, he's been a healthy little boy and hasn't had any issues. And if you've watched our previous videos, you know that my brain likes to go to the hospital, go to the hospital, go to the hospital. Even though I know that's not the right way now. That's the wrong thing, because especially with what's going on, they might try to quarantine people for something that they don't need quarantine for, because they're pushing fear.
Well, and poison.
Yep, so. And I let the fear get the best of me just a touch. Kind of panicked a little bit, and then instantly realized there is a natural way for everything. God has put us here with everything we need, and our natural immune system, and fevers are very normal, and we're supposed to have a fever to fight off infection. My concern was making sure that the fever didn't get to where it could become dangerous or cause problems. So I instantly did some research and learned new things for myself and for my daughter. Cell salts, ferrum phosphate in particular, is for fever, and it can be used in even newborn infants. 4 little tablets every 15 minutes until the fever subsides. And I now know for a fact that it brings a fever down, and it brings it down quick. And it's amazing to know all these natural resources that we can use in our own homes to help our families heal.
And it worked for his son and his wife.
And his wife, yes.
Both. Because they're both suffering from this fever that they couldn't shake.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were hurting.
Yeah.
It worked for both of them, and quickly. So just to add that.
Yeah. And apple cider vinegar mixed with water and a lukewarm towel.
And our daughter.
Yep, and Kaylee, yep. And you actually just moisten the child with the apple cider vinegar and the warm water, and the vinegar actually evaporates faster than water So it pulls the fever out of the body. So as you're taking in the ferrum phosphate, and we also did administer colloidal silver, and gradually over just a few hours of time, spending the day with us, and Grandma made some good soup, and we
plant-based
soup. We got him back to feeling great again, and I'm glad that we were able to do it together as a family. It was a very uplifting feeling that we all came together. We were a little bit nervous. It was kind of scary. The infant getting a little sicker than we're used to, but we all handled it really well, and we came together as a family and did what we needed to do in a natural, loving way. And there was a lot of love, and I believe that that plays a huge role in healing for every one of us. We need to have love around us as well.
And I was not nervous, just for the record.
I was.
I was doing my best to keep her calm and to keep her, because she was in that fear reactionary state a bit, thinking too far ahead about doctors and hospitals. Yeah. And like, whoa, calm down. That's no. So, yeah, not all of us, but yeah.
And it was
I could add some on that.
It was a very awesome learning experience for me too, because I had to kind of learn how to calm myself, because I didn't want my grandson or my daughter to see me over panicked or over worried. I just knew that in that moment I needed to find the natural route to do things the natural way, and do it with the love and care that I could, without having any being frantic or nervous. I didn't want the baby to pick up on that nervous energy that I had for a moment, and I'm glad I let it pass quickly. I did. I asked God to help me through it, and I know that He did. I just know that. I feel it, and things got taken care of. It was a good feeling. I sometimes wonder with these dreams, because I've had them before.
Can I add something for you on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, on that part, we went over there to my son's house. When we got there, and his wife and son both were sick, for me, what came to me right away, because I am now connected to my heart, and I explained it later as it was almost like my motherly instinct, so to speak. But that saying that all other men do, just so you know, men, the heart is a powerful, powerful tool. But for me, when I went in there, and I know her ability to find these things and remedies and things we've already know together and have been doing, and the way they've been living and the plant-based and the just healthy, knew this, like we had to help them get through this. And what came to me instantly just looking around was I envisioned them here in this place, all of us in the living room getting through it, is what came to me as an image in the heart, if you can envision such a thing, because that's a powerful tool in there. And that's what it was. And that was right away, before any hospital doctor or anything. No, bring them here. So all the things she just said that we could do in this love and knowledge and things we could share and learn together and help them get through it, because it sucks trying to get through things on your own. Mm-hmm. So just to say, that came instantly for me with what I saw, and that's really more of a message for other men out there, because I didn't used to act or perceive things in that manner or fashion. I wasn't able to, and I left all of the caretaking up to her, because I had totally given up my role of caretaker, because I couldn't even take care of myself. Just to add that in there, so you go ahead. Yeah, I just want to add that in.
Yeah, it was a good day of helping everyone heal, and I'm glad that he suggested. I was kind of a little nervous at that point, and when he suggested, they accepted and they came here, and our role now as parents is not to tell them what to do. I did have a gut instinct or a feeling, almost my fear tried to tell me, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do this, we need to do that. But you have to, I think as parents, we have to be respectful of our children's wishes, especially for their children, and be there to support them and love them, and not boss them around or tell them you have to do this, or come to conclusions together and actually help each other, which is exactly what we did. I was unaware at that time of how to naturally reduce a fever. I had remembered things from the past. One person told me a long time ago to rub rubbing alcohol on my son so the fever would get pulled out, and that did work, but it dried his skin out, and it was painful for him. And then when I started looking into things yesterday, oh duh, apple cider vinegar. I use that to heal my body all the time. Like, it's right here in my cabinet. I never would have thought, but it makes so much sense that yes, it would evaporate faster and it would do the exact same thing. And it's so amazing because I had cell salts in the house.
Been using.
And we've been using them to heal our own bodies. And I instantly gave them to the mother. I wasn't sure about infants, so we just did a little research. And there's one specifically, the ferrum phosphate, that actually reduces fever. And you can give that to a newborn baby. So I learned that yesterday, and I made sure that we have it. They have some, so that this never comes up again. How do we do this naturally? We figured it out, and we took care of them, and everybody's doing so much better. And that's just a great feeling. And I just want to express that there's so many ways to come together as a family. And even if you have differences of opinion or a little bit of fear still going on, you can work through it, and make sure that everybody is doing what they need to just take care of each other. I did want to touch base on the dream that he had about his son being sick. I think that I really, in my heart, know that we somehow are given information from God to just let us know. I'm curious what everyone else's thoughts are. That's kind of just how I feel about it, because I've had dreams in the past, and I've heeded them I've taken them very seriously, and I've told my son, and I've even called friends before and said, hey, I had a dream about your daughter or your son. And I don't know if you take these things seriously, but I kind of do. I had to tell you. I feel like God was telling me to tell you this, and they did. They listened to me, and I'm grateful for that, because I really do think those things they play a role in our lives that have not been taken as serious as maybe we should take them. So those were yesterday's events. We did have an event today that happened with my Jeep. I've got a vehicle, an older vehicle that we've put some money in to try and fix up. I was pretty excited about it. We got, we don't want vehicle payments, no more of the system stuff as much as possible. But there was a knocking when we actually went to get the natural supplements from the natural food store yesterday for the children to get them better. And Ron was talking, and I was like, shh, be quiet, I hear something. And as soon as I heard it, I knew something was not right. I then made him hush, because I was saying a prayer like, dear Lord, please get us to this health food store and back home today. I don't know why I felt the need to pray right then. I just knew I needed to. Well, we made it to the health food store. We didn't hear any more noise. We made it all the way home safely. I went to get in the vehicle today, and the sound was atrocious. It was just knock, 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 knock. I went out to visit with my son this morning, and I had him look it over, and he was like, we need to take it to the mechanic right away. We all had this suspicion it's an engine knock. The engine is probably shot. I got upset for a moment, because and then I was just saying thank you, because I know in my heart that was a prayer answered, that we made it to get what we needed for the children, for them to be okay. That vehicle is not what's important. The engine in that vehicle, that's not important. Us being here without a vehicle right now, I have family, and I have good friends, and that vehicle's not that important. I thank God that we got what we needed yesterday to make sure that we're healthy, and that's really what matters. And I think sometimes we shouldn't get so upset and worried, because there are lessons to be learned in everything that happens, even when we think it's bad and things are rough, and why does this have to happen to me? Blah, blah, blah. Those thoughts really didn't cross my mind. For a second, I thought, are there things I need to repent for? Are there things going on? And then I thought, no, this is just another lesson that these are things that are not important. And I'm glad that I realized that right in the moment. I got upset for just a moment and then realized I'm supposed to understand that that vehicle's not important. And I'm glad that I took that lesson right then, that is not what's important. What's important is that prayer that was answered for me yesterday to make sure that the children had the natural medicine from the earth that goes in their bodies that makes them healthy. That is what I took from that. And I hope that maybe this message can help others see that even when things seem like they're not going as smoothly as you'd like, there's still probably a really good lesson in it. There really is. And I know these things to be true. I know it from experience. And that's why I wanted to share just a couple of things that happened over the last couple of days. Even my fear and what we went through. Do you have anything to add to that?
Good one. Good one. I don't know. I keep all over the place. Maybe not. Do you have anything else?
I have a couple more things. I
might make a part 2. Once I start to actually start talking, I might just, make that. I might wait and, wait till she's done and might make a part 2 where I just get to going about something or
yeah,
other.
he's had a lot that he's wanted to talk about.
And I don't know what to say or how it's going to come out. So, you go ahead for now.
Okay, so I wanted to discuss also just prayers and love and how powerful I feel those can be. I've heard others speak. We like to watch other channels too. I love hearing when others are trying to convey the message of love in their prayer and when they need prayer. And I do. I often pray for everyone out there. I pray that everyone gets a positive message when they need it the most. I hope that my prayers reach someone, and I know that even when you're in a dark place, just a simple gesture of love can bring light. And I hope that I can be that for my children and my family, and I hope that I keep receiving that even from others, even if it's in a video. I enjoy it very much, and I just wanted to put that out there. The last thing that I really wanted to discuss was...
One second, I had something there.
Okay.
But love from a place of care.
Yeah.
Not love from a place of want. Because that's the trick and one of the traps of that word love.
Yeah.
And I'll wait for part 2 before I get into this. But gestures with my hands are just me communicating. Just part of me communicating the message, whatever I'm speaking, so please just listen to my words. And I might say something about that in part 2. But I wanted to say that because love is pushed and flashed out there and attached to debauchery and
it really is.
Materialism and all this other nonsense that causes these conflicts within. So I just want to add that. And that is not love when it's coming from a place of want, or me, or... That's that dark vampire snake type energy, and I'll just leave it at that for now. So love from a place of care, though, in the heart. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I agree with you. It does have to come from a place of care, which is why I'm not even concerned about the vehicle issue right now. I know that it will work itself out. I know that these things... I learned a very valuable lesson even in that moment that I got upset, and I know that I don't have to worry about that because I have a couple very good friends that love me from a place of care, and I have 2 grown boys that love me, and I know that the Lord will provide. You love and you will receive it in return, and I know that to be true. Another thing I wanted to talk about is feeling and avoiding darkness in specific moments. I've had moments with being around others where I kind of feel almost like I feel a dark energy or I feel some sort of tension. And it's made me, we all know that we can pick up on the vibes. Some people call it vibes, or
The clearer you are, the more.
yeah, the
clear
negative
it is
energy in a room.
Yes.
You can feel it, and you can
I
usually, when you have eyes to see and a heart to feel, you can feel where it's coming from, which individual is uncomfortable, or something's just a little off. Um, I think that one of the ways we can avoid letting that get to our heart, especially when it's someone you love and you care about them and you want to help them and you want to guide them, I think that darkness is them. They still have some healing going on, and I think sometimes an approach with more love is sometimes needed. I know that from experience, that sometimes we do just have to offer some love, even when we're at the point of just harsh frustration, like you want to shake someone you love, like this is not the right way to do this. We really don't have the right to do that to someone else. We need to approach things with a little more love, even when you can feel a little bit of darkness or tension, and you want to avoid or run away. Sometimes there are individuals that need to be shut out for a little while so that they can come into themselves a little more. But it doesn't mean that you have to completely let go or stop giving love. I know that for a fact, that we still have to show love and kindness, even when there's someone a little dark, especially if it's your family. You've got to continue to show love and try to avoid taking any of the negative energy in. It is possible. I did not used to think that it was possible to do that. I used to get so frantic, and when someone wouldn't listen to me and I'm like, oh, I have to tell you this is the right way, I would get very frustrated, and I would get mad and I would take it out on them, and that didn't help the situation, not one bit. So please just know that you can guard yourself and your heart and still offer love to the ones that you're trying to help. I know that you can, and you just have to find that peace and calmness within your heart. That was another part of my lesson today with the Jeep breaking down. I instantly, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? That's like a fear response, and I'm learning to control those, and it was a good feeling to instantly just know that no, this is another lesson. Like, that's a material possession that
Yep.
I was kind of
Right.
holding on to a little bit, and like, oh, that doesn't even matter. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
We're
showing
still
me.
here.
Yeah, showing me again, like, that doesn't even matter. Like, the fact that my grandson and my daughter are healthy and that I made it to get what I needed to get for them was, that was an amazing feeling. It made my heart feel very, very full today to learn that lesson, that these things will work out, and it's nothing to be worried about. I've noticed the last week, we shouldn't worry about just little things. I've spent my lifetime worrying about things that I should have never even given my energy to, really, because it's part of that garbage out there, and I'm trying to pull away from the garbage as much as possible. So just love the ones that are around you, and even when you feel a little darkness or negative energy, or they're not receiving the message the way that you're trying to convey it, their perception may be a little off, still just offer love, because that's what we can do, and we have to just be there, because your light will still shine, and they will find their way. I know that they will. What do you think about that?
Well said. Well said. And I also think, one second. For my part on that, and about avoiding the harmful impact of that energy on yours, that dark energy, or that vampiric energy, or that energy of usury, or that energy of toxicity, or fracturedness inside that hasn't healed yet, however you might want to put it, because it's varying degrees out there in each, maybe in me still too, as I still try to work through these things. What I could offer here is that you can also help someone that you love and care for by doing it from a distance, by leaving that door open for them to always come back through. But it's if they come back through to you in the right way for the help you have to offer. It's knowing if they're ready to accept the help you're ready to offer, or are they coming and running to that door over and over just only to take and use you or your energy as a crutch to continue their own whatever behavior that's keeping them in a state of darkness, such as consuming all of the toxic processed food, drink, chemical-based stuff out there, to include pharmaceuticals and things. That's why she talked about the natural way to deal with what's going on out there and being created to go on. Consider also, like I said before, what's being sprayed in the air, the electromagnetic frequencies and how those interact. Think of fungal infections. Think of those interactions with those frequencies and those things, and what funguses and things, and technology, which is being sprayed. All of these things, consider all of these things are already in the body, and what they're trying to get you to add to your body, or temple, so to speak.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, while that temple, each of us, is filled with darkness, and that's informational as well, based on beliefs from they and them, or whoever taught they and them to teach someone something. When they're still locked in that state, sometimes the best way is to turn your back, so to speak, to, like she said, to let them be with their self and deal with their self. Because I'll tell you, when I went through my thing, and I just started spewing off at the mouth all these things I was trying to understand and convey, because I was in a state of just such a broken, fractured psyche of compartmentalization on so much different knowledge that I had no comprehension of, let alone wisdom. I was far from that at the time. But what I'm saying is, when I recognized there was more and there was a spark in there, and I went through the whole thing that I've talked about, I couldn't get through to my wife, the one I was closest with and loved the most, that I could feel things. I was feeling these things, and I didn't know what it meant. And I was getting emotional and all kinds of things, and I was literally had my meltdown. Big time breakdown. Whoa. It was a lot.
It was.
But the best thing, she couldn't comprehend really what I was saying either, because it was such a 180 flip night and day, so to speak, type of thing. So that caused separation here with us.
Yes, it did.
And I needed that, because then the time I was forced anyway. I was like on that mission anyway to go try and find myself, or memories of myself when I was young, back where I grew up, all these things, which she got mad at. She was getting mad at me for it, because she didn't understand what I was doing or what I was feeling or thinking, and I couldn't convey it to her. And even if I could clearly, I don't know if she would have got what I was saying anyway.
I didn't care at that time.
So,
but I needed the time alone as well. We did need the division just for a short time, because
that helped me, is all I'm saying. That time I spent alone in my vehicle and exploring and trying to find myself and what things meant inside. I needed that retracing back of steps inside and reflection on memories I didn't even know were gone, because my memory was so shot because of my lifetime of toxins, which I've spoke about before. Which is another reason, don't accept any of these injections of poisons that are being pushed. Stop blindly believing in authority, period. Start there. You have just as much authority as any other man or woman walking the face of this place we all walk, all at the same time. In the very moment you listen to these words, or whenever, because anyway, thanks.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it there, whatever I was adding to. So yeah, before I get too far off.
I think the division that we experienced was good for not only for him but for me. I was angry, and then I had to, and even while I was laying in the other room or in a different room angry, I had to analyze, why am I so mad? Why am I? That's when I really realized that I let everything he did in our whole entire relationship, my whole mood my everyday was based on his behavior and his attitude. Am I going to have a good day today? It depends on what mood Ron's in. And that's a horrible way to live your life. Not even for yourself.
Big external attachment
It is.
of oneself.
Yeah, what do they call it in psychiatry? Psychiatry, they say it's what they say it was.
It's like an attachment disorder,
Codependent.
codependency. Yeah, 'cause it is.
Codependency, and that's exactly how I was living.
Yeah.
And that time apart is what made me realize, like, why do I have to have a bad day just because he's being a grouch? Like, okay, I'm gonna start ignoring him, and I'm gonna have every day a day for me, no matter what kind of mood he's in.
And I had the same issue
Yeah,
that I
and-
had to go through myself with her.
Yeah,
Same thing.
and learning that it was like, holy cow, I'm finally living. Like, okay, you don't want to do whatever today, you sit your grouchy butt at home. This is what I'm doing today. What would you like to do today? And if there's any kind of, he's having a bad day or whatever, I would go do my own thing. And he did the same thing. If I was like, grouchy mood, he would just go on about his day and do what he is doing. And it feels so free. Like, I feel so free it was like I was really literally wrapped in chains and not living, just not living, not
Yeah.
being. And
Fractured perception in the psyche was doing it.
that's a crazy way to live. And I know that I lived that way. It was dependent on
So
others
did I.
around me and what their mood is. And it's really a good feeling to know that you can be in the room with someone who's not having a good day or in a bad mood, and even if they won't speak to you about it, still be calm and at peace within yourself and not let that affect you. It's another way to avoid darkness. Like, sometimes we just have bad days, and it doesn't necessarily mean that person is dark or anything like that. It just means that sometimes we just have days where we have to go inside of ourselves and analyze and think things through. And that's a really, really happy place to be when you learn how to
Go in and deal with
go
one's own
inside
darkness
and deal with your
and
feelings.
get rid of that.
Yes, and get rid of it. It's almost like an instant release and of just pressure on your soul. That's the only way I know to describe it.
Bring a wholeness to you.
Yeah.
A wholeness.
Yeah. It's
But
a very
it
good
takes
feeling.
getting that darkness out and realizing those things inside. Because the systems themselves have been set up in that same way to create a codependency
Yeah.
of thought, a fracturing of the mind and perception of what reality is and what we are in association with it, to make us think all these actors and clowns out there in different costumes with different labels attached. I used to be one. I'm not calling names. I used to act in that insane way. And I say clown as in it's a giant circus made by others' ideas of how society is going to function in a way that they can control it. They who understood how psychology, I've talked about it before. It is the darkness, and each has that darkness inside them to get rid of. Each and every one. Everyone's still playing a role or putting on an act or part of the show. Each has their own darkness to deal with, and each has to, for their own sake and for everyone else's. I only say that because I had a ton of it to deal with in myself that I didn't realize had been put there. And by the time I realized how dark I was and how much harm I had caused and what I was really a part of, it was too late for me. Still might be too late, but I'm at peace with that because I found that wholeness inside that she's speaking of, and I've healed those fractured compartmentalization pieces of my own psyche, my own perception of myself, my false ego I had. And it took a lot of inner work and reflection and the actual, like I said, purging of toxins physically and informationally to get the false beliefs out of the head so they stop influencing the perception, and to get the chemicals and things out of the body so the body and the mind can process and comprehend information quickly, deeply, and profoundly. Because everyone has that ability. It's just, that's why we've all been poisoned on purpose. So, but each can heal from that, and it's happening. It's happening. So everyone, even the most dark, It's not most for you, but you're included. You need to heal as well. Because you need to realize how clearly we can see what's going on, those of us that can see and feel. And yeah, the plan is to get rid of us, of course. Blah, blah, blah. So history or his story can continue to repeat. I don't think so. I don't feel it going like that. Though you may believe different, I would say I know it's not going to. So I guess that's what I had for that piece.
Yeah. I don't have much more to talk about. I just if you've listened to the video, if you enjoy hearing us talk, I'm glad if we can help or provide some sort of camaraderie, I guess I want to say, just like-minded people listening, because I know I enjoy listening to others as well. But just if you have someone in your life that you're feeling a little negative about, but you want to reach out to them, I really suggest you do that in person. Preferably don't send a text message. Call somebody you love and tell them you love them. That's very important. And I'll say on video that Ron, Damien, Bree, Desiree, Lux, granddaughter, I love you. And I want you to know that every day, all day, every day, that I love you very much. And even when I offer guidance that may upset you, it's just because I love you. And I hope that you truly feel that in your hearts, that I love you very much.
And that's true. She does. So, yeah, well said. What to say? I had something, but it, I don't know. I got lost in what you're saying, good one.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, I was just going to say, thank you folks that show up, that listen, that really, that give us your time and attention to listen to what we have to say, because that's all you have here. In your life, all you have is your time and attention and what you decide to spend it on. So we really appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And we really do hope you get some of value. And thank you also for the things you write in the comments you leave.
Yes.
And for what you all share. I really appreciate it as well. I do.
Yes, very much.
So I guess, I'll leave it at that. And if you want to listen to whatever might start pouring out, I think a part 2 might be in order, because I might just start talking right after this. So, see you next time. Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you for listening. Much love to everyone. Please reach out to someone you love. Just tell them you love them.
All right.